Hey, Bill Marsh Jr. here. Welcome to Motivational Moments, where I share brief insights designed to help you present the best version of yourself. And recently, I read some fascinating research involving parole board cases. As you probably know, in a parole board, prisoners come before a group of judges who hear their case and then decide whether or not to grant them release, grant them parole, or send them back to prison. And you would think, or you would hope, that the biggest factor in determining whether or not a prisoner got granted release was based on things like the time served, the nature of the crime, whether or not they get good behavior, and things like that. But in fact, the biggest factor that determined whether or not a prisoner got parole was none of these things. It was the time of day that the prisoner went before the parole board. You see, the researchers mapped the decisions throughout the day. In the beginning of the day, there's a 60% likelihood that a prisoner will get a favorable hearing. Then, as the morning wears on and the judges get fatigued and their willpower depletes, and the chances of getting a favorable hearing drop dramatically right before lunch. Then right after lunch, their decision making spikes up again and then falls again during their mid-afternoon break, or right before their mid-afternoon break. The worst time, the most unfavorable time for a prisoner to get granted release is at the tail end of a day. In fact, psychologists have a term for this. They call it decision fatigue or ego depletion. The more decisions that you have to make throughout the day, the more your willpower gets tested and your ego depletes. And I think that's good information to know, because if you have, for example, if you have to make a big decision or something that's going to tax your willpower, don't do it at the end of the day. Wait until the morning when you're fresh. Just knowing that your willpower is a finite resource can help you present the best version of yourself. Hey, thanks for tuning in. And for more personal development tips, check out my website, billmarshjr.com.